Dubious ones, welcome back to the channel for another WWE 2k24 video. This one with a little bit more of a serious tone than our usual fun. Why? Well, if you've been following the community at all, you probably already know why. What's the status for one of the greatest creators in all of WWE 2K? I mean, he's been creating content, I'm pretty sure, since before 2K came around. But what's the status is by far one of the greatest creators in the entire community. As you can see with some of these incredible creations, this Asuka that he made, this Saraya / Paige that he made. I mean, the man has been making incredible content for a very, very long time. Cool attire for Damian Priest. And even giving you updates as to why this happens, where your logos are just getting all messed around. But unfortunately, we lost one of our greatest content creators today. No, he did not pass away. But unfortunately for us, one of the greatest creators in all of the community has a permanent online ban. We do not know exactly what the reason is, but we were recently alerted that this account has been associated with inappropriate content. Ooh, inappropriate content. This is a violation of our end user license agreement, which every player accepts prior to accessing 2K24's online features. Accordingly, this account has now been permanently banned from 2K24's online platform. That means you won't be able to access any online content or features with this account. This ruling is final, and ban appeals are not being accepted for one of our greatest creators. The amount of sadness and disappointment, they removed all his uploads, not him. He said, "No idea what I will do next, as this is overall tedious and boring at this point. He appreciates the support regardless of what happens next." But this is ridiculous. Yeah, and it is insane. He was getting, if you have been following on X or Twitter, what's the status? He's been, hashtag FreeStatus has been trending. There was another trending, FreeStatus again trending all over Twitter. 2K24 FreeStatus, hashtag FreeStatus. What's happening? Trending even in Canada here. Hashtag FreeStatus. The community is in an uproar. They're not pleased, and rightfully so. This man right here has done more for this community and for the longevity of these games than I would argue the 2K developers themselves. If you're not familiar with him, I guarantee you've run into one or two of his creations. You may even have some of them downloaded yourself, because he makes some of the coolest stuff. If you found his Adam Cole before it was removed, he actually managed, and this could be part of the reason why he's banned, we'll get to that in a moment, but he put up an Adam Cole that has the Adam Cole Bebe taunt, but it actually has the audio sound of Adam Cole Bebe from the audience and everything else. Now, how are they able to accomplish this, and what do I think led to his ban? Let's take a listen right here, though, as you can see, which is so cool that he was able to get this in the game. So neat for us as consumers of the product. But just listen to this. Oh, my desktop audio is muted. I apologize for that, but here you go.
Stop gloating and put your attention back to the match.
Adam Cole, baby.
Proud, but he better focus on the opposition.
Adam Cole, baby. So, as you can hear, he was able to get the files. Obviously, he's taking either files from previous games, injecting them into the game. You know, with like a lot of modders are able to take models from previous games, and put them into the game. I don't know if that's what he did here, or if these files were just hidden in the game itself, and he just was able to unlock them. He did a lot of things for commentary for different wrestlers, and it's the reason why this game is as good as it is, and why these games have been as good as they have been over the years. He's one of the most popular creators on all of Community Creations, as we can see by so many of his incredible creations that he's put out there for us. And it's just a shame. Now, getting to why I think they banned him, obviously, if you're taking assets that aren't meant to be in the game and he's able to access these files and then upload them to Community Creations, I don't know if it's the Adam Cole per se, or if maybe he was one of the many people who uploaded Brock Lesnar to Community Creations, or Vince McMahon to Community Creations, or if he's even taking some of the DLC that might be upcoming, that might be coded in the game, but they haven't released yet. Maybe he's putting DLC onto the servers, onto the Community Creations. I don't know. I'm not accusing him of this. I'm not sure why he got banned. I don't know the exact answer. I'm just speculating as to the many reasons why it could have happened. So get it straight that I'm not saying that he did any of these things. I'm saying that possibly if he did, these could be reasons. If he's taking assets that are from my faction, like the Hulk Hogan toy, as the action figure, as an asset, if he's uploading that to Community Creations, I know we love it as the community when creators are able to do this and able to get my faction cool stuff up, especially in prior years when my faction stuff wasn't actually able to be used outside of my faction, which was ridiculous. But if they're trying to sell this stuff to us and they want to make money from it, if you're affecting 2K's bottom line, that's all they care about. So if he uploaded assets from my faction, different my faction models, or attires or whatever, if he put those out on Community Creations for people for free, that could be the reason they blackballed him and they wanted to set an example, because he's not an unknown creator. I believe, and I don't know where I saw it, but I believe he had nearly 2 million downloads for his creations on Community Creations before they removed him. And as you're seeing, just page after page after page on his Twitter feed of him showing different creations that he's put out there, incredible versions of characters we all love and have downloaded. And some of the best creations on Community Creations came from this guy. And my biggest problem is that what the lifeblood of this game has been for a decade now is Community Creations. And these amazing creators putting all their time into making, like, look at this rock. Look at it. Perfect. The tattoo, everything looks incredible. Now it's gone. You can't download this anymore. You can no longer download this version of the rock because all of his creations have been taken down. And that is a real shame. It's unfortunate. Now, I don't know how the modders and how creators are able, because we have cross-save Community Creations, players are now able to inject stuff into the Community Creations that maybe they weren't before. I know you used to have like mods if you're playing on PC to be able to get some of these cool creations and be able to have them in your game. Now, because of Community Creations, they've found a way to put them in the game for all of us. And here's the post that I was looking for. I would also like to thank all of you for the support on helping me almost reaching 2 million downloads before at WWE Games banned me. I really appreciate the love. Again, 1.7 million downloads. That is so insane that a creator on this level, one of the greatest, if not perhaps the greatest Community Creations creator. There's so many talented creators out there, but what's the status has been doing this for so long in these games? And for them to just ban him like that, and without a reason, like, we don't know the reasons and we can't ask them. Like, he broke terms of service. Plain and simple. Somehow he did. I don't know how he did, and I don't know on what level, but does it really matter? To us, as the community, of course it doesn't. We want the coolest creations available to us. You can download Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, John Moxley, wrestlers who are not contracted to WWE. That's the whole point of community creations, so we can get those wrestlers. You can get Avengers creations. It's not like a copyright thing where, oh, well, he put up some Spider-Man creation and now, Marvel might sue them. No, it's community creations. That's the whole fun of the game. You can get your favorite comic book heroes or your favorite wrestlers from other promotions to be able to play as. That's the fun of this game. Now, I don't know the extent of how modding works with these games because I've seen crazy mods that you can't just access via community creations with like barbed wire everything and crazy barbed wire ladders and all kinds of weird stuff that is very cool. Same thing with some arenas and stuff. Some of that stuff might get through to community creations. A lot of it doesn't. I don't know what requires what and how certain things are able to get in there. But when they're able to take models from prior games and put them on community creations, is that breaking terms of service? Is having that Adam Cole Bebe taunt or having commentary for a wrestler that's not in the game anymore, not contracted to WWE, but you're able to get proper commentary because that's in the files somewhere, is putting that out for us and having that available on community creations. I'm sure it breaks terms of service, but it's not a reason to ban somebody. Like, it's crazy to me because, like, community creations is the only thing that pushes this game to have a lifespan beyond 3 months, 6 months. I understand when a DLC pack releases and you bought the season pass or whatever, you'll hop back in the game, and a lot of people will for a few weeks at most. Once you've played through the story mode, once you've had your matches online or whatever you do, most players do not stick around in these games for the entire year. 2K would like us to, but one of the things that keeps players checking in the most is checking what's new on community creations. Finding this cool new page. Finding this cool attire for Damian Priest. The stuff that the creators put out there is what gets us to keep booting up the game and checking in. What's there? What can I change my universe? Can I get these new tag team titles that just released? Can I get whatever it might be? This is what gets players to keep playing and popping back in the game. So in the long run, I think this is going to hurt 2K, and I do think it could negatively affect sales in the future if they go down this route. Because I feel like they're taking what's the status. They know how many downloads he has. They know how popular he is. They know they're going to get backlash. I feel like they're trying to make a statement here. I feel like they're trying to point out, and again, I don't know what the one specific issue was or if it was a multitude of many issues of breaking of terms of service. But if it was uploading a Brock Lesnar or a Vince McMahon to community creations, those files and assets are in the game. Putting it on community creations, if that's the ban, that sucks. If it's taking assets from my faction, again, stuff they want you to spend money on, they want you spending money in my faction, and if you can just get all the cool stuff that you want from my faction for free on community creations, why would you spend money in my faction? So they could think that's hurting their bottom line. Now, I don't think this is good PR for 2K, but how many people who are playing 2K or who play it on a regular basis are keeping up on social media and even know about this? Like, how many of you guys had heard about this before I made this video? Sound off in the comments below. Please let me know. But to me, it's not a good look. It's the wrong way to go about it. And also clarity. Let us know, as the rest of the community, so other content creators don't make the same mistake. Let it be known what part of the terms of service he broke and why this is causing a ban on him. Because there's plenty of stuff on community creations, like X-rated images or other hacked stuff. There's so many different things on community creations that doesn't get taken out and never really gets addressed. It doesn't really affect things, but it also probably doesn't affect 2K's bottom line. Whereas if you're uploading my faction custom attires or models, that could affect their bottom line. if you're putting out DLC roster or assets from DLC wrestlers that somehow are getting through without people having to pay for that DLC and they're able to download them, that could affect their bottom line. So as much as it sucks and it's horrible and I don't like it, if you're breaking terms of service and they decide they want to give you the boot, and in this case I feel like they want to send a message where they're booting someone who's been a member of this community for over a decade now, who's been one of the main biggest creators and best creators in the field, like in all of this community, and they're just going to boot him like this. They obviously knew there would be some backlash. They may not expect it to be this much where he's trending on X, but how long is he going to be trending on X? This just happened, right? I was informed of it because I saw it on my X feed. And I saw other videos start popping up on YouTube. And I don't think it's right. I hope, regardless of what it says here, where the ban, let's zoom in on this so you guys can see this better. Oh, I can't make that any bigger. So it says this ruling is final and bans are not being accepted, appeals on the bans are not being accepted. Maybe they'll change their mind this time if we're vocal enough as a community, but it's going to come down to you guys. You guys need to comment down below. You need to share this video. You need to get this word out there. Make videos of your own, share it with your community, share this video with the community, get it out there. This needs to get out in front of as many eyeballs as possible for 2K to be able to be willing to budge about it. They need to hear from us that we're not cool with this. Let us know what it is he did wrong. And you know what? He's got, again, some of the best creations on Community Creations are now just gone forever because they banned him. Do I think he'll put all that stuff back up if they unban him? I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't. I'd probably just say, see you later to this game. And I don't blame him if he does that. I don't know if he wants to come back. But regardless, the fans and the community do. And we're not okay with this. I can understand you break terms of service. They have to set an example. I understand the methodology if he did something like upload assets from my faction, or if it was the Brock Lesnar or a Vince McMahon or something that they didn't want out there. But again, clarify. What was it? What specific thing or specific things, plural, did he do to break terms of service so that other content creators can avoid this in the future, other than just saying, well, anything that breaks terms of service can get you banned, so we shouldn't have to specify anything. That is a BS answer. I understand they can go with that. They're more than welcome just to say that, but if you're going to do that, then there's tons of things on Community Creations that should be gone, and they're still there, and they stay there all the time, and they never get taken down because they're not getting 1 million or 2 million downloads. You know what I mean? Because I can't expect them to be able to moderate everything that goes through Community Creations when you can literally just upload anything. My bigger scare for the community is that the removal of Community Creations as a whole over time. Because I feel like Community Creations and my factions stand in contrast with each other 100%. Like, I really think, personally, that Community Creations and my factions will not live in syncopation, in harmony. I don't feel like they're going to be able to live together long-term for this game, because Community Creations literally defeats the purpose of needing to pay money for these models and stuff. That's always been the case, and I could see them taking away Community Creations or creation features in the future. Like if we get a next-gen only version of 2K, which we're probably going to get next year or at the very latest the year after, a current gen, PS5 and Series X are far from next gen anymore. They're definitely current gen. But if they drop PS4 and Xbox, I could see them using that as an excuse to just say, oh, sorry, we took out Community Creations this year because we were running into server issues or this, and we'll try and bring it back in the future or whatever, make it better than ever. And then use that as a testing ground to see how much that affects sales and see if that crushes their sales or not. And if not, then just move forward. Because, I mean, Community Creations to me, again, and for you guys I'm sure as well, is the lifeblood of this game. But I'm sure for them, it hurts them getting extra sales of my faction stuff, paying for more attires where you could just people can just make them freely. So, I don't know. I think it's a horrible, horrible situation that we're in. I'm sad I had to make this video. I'm not happy that we got here. I'm really not happy that one of the greatest and biggest creators in the community that's been around for so long, doing such amazing work for us, is now just exiled and banned, right? So, hashtag FreeStatus. Sound off in the comments below. Do you think this was justified? Do you have any insight onto exactly what it was that he specifically uploaded that could have caused this, or if it was a multitude of things? Because I'm sure Adam Cole, baby, having that taunt and that crowd taunt in there, they're probably not happy that that's out there. But I think it's really neat that you get stuff like that, or you get commentary talking about the people who are no longer in the company. I'm sure it's not supposed to be there, or was there something from my faction that he put out there, or was it a Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon? Was he one of the people who uploaded those to community creations and they didn't like it? I don't know exactly what it was, and from my research, I wasn't able to find a specific reason for the ban, exactly what it was. But I do see things that could have been violating terms of service. I definitely do see that. So, you know what I mean? 2K's fully in their right to do this. It's not a great look from the community. It's not a great look for them. But at the end of the day, they're a business, and I don't think they care. And if it's going to affect their bottom line, if you're going to take this away from them, they'll just no questions asked, right? So, anyways, dubious ones. Sound off in the comments below. I want to know your opinions. What do you think it was that got him banned? Do you think it was justified? Do you think he should appeal this, or that us as a community should be appealing it for him? Should 2K lift the ban, even though they stated that there is no appealing the ban whatsoever? I personally would love to see him get reinstated because, again, it's a sign of good faith to your community who really, really love this guy.
Stop gloating and put your attention back to
And anyone who's able to take these files.
Stop gloating and put your attention back to the match.
Like, that's incredible.
He's taking a moment
The fact that he was able to get this in the game. I hope you guys could hear that. I do have my desktop audio up. But let's do it one more time for you guys.
Stop gloating and put your attention back to the match.
Adam Cole, baby.
Better focus on the opposition.
Anyone who's able to do that for this community, like, who's this hurting, right? You can't get sued by AEW for this or anything. This is literally a community creations. That's the whole thing. It was fan made. It's not on you guys. So, I don't know, man. I'd like to see him come back, but I fully understand from 2K's perspective. If he's affecting sales of my faction stuff, or he's injecting stuff in the game and it's just breaking terms of service and they want to make an example because they're tired of all their cool my faction models and stuff just being thrown up on community creations like it has been in years past, I understand it. I don't agree with it. I'm not a fan of it, but I understand it. Anyways, dubious ones, this video went way longer than I had intended, but c'est la vie. Anyways, we will catch you in the next one. Until the next time, dubious ones.